Okay guys, so this is Rory here with Redline. So just quick introduction to those of you who are trying to get into GSE, which is ground support equipment, for those of you who don't know what that is. Okay, so very quick video from me on what you can expect as a GSE technician. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to start with this. This is a workhorse. You know, you'll see pallets lying around everywhere. Everything is heavy in GSE, so you're going to need big machines to lift stuff up. So we got a forklift. These things genuinely don't give too many problems, you know, apart from this kind of stuff, you know, lines leaking, you know, guys will drive the hell out of them. You know, you got to change tires all the time. Brakes go bad in them because they're being flung around the place a lot. You know, fuel system problems are very, very minimum. Ignition problems are very, very minimum. It's basically, you know, hydraulics and, you know, basic R&R stuff. Okay, so we're going to move on. All right, so put that there so you don't see that too much. All right guys, so this is the Prime Flight workhorse van. This is the old Ford E350. This thing was, yeah, this thing done its piece for the American economy. Anyway, 5.7 liter motor, I think. Was it 5.3? It doesn't really matter. These things are pretty reliable. You will see a lot of companies using these. They don't give too many problems, apart from exhausts. These things sit on the AOAs overnight, the area of operations overnight, and there's a lot of moisture out here, and the moisture goes into the tailpipe. When the van is driven, it's not driven very far, so that moisture kind of tends to sit in there and it rots the exhaust from the inside out. So that's a big problem with these. Another problem is differentials. We're doing U-turns in these things all the time. Again, guys are driving the hell out of them. Maintenance, not too bad. You know, these things can kind of run forever. All right, so that's that. All right, so then you got your bigger trucks. Like, this is Big John. So Big John. All right, so Big John basically does exactly what it says in the tin. It just hauls big stuff. All right, so a lot of these things that are used to move the aircraft around and whatnot, they do break down and they do need to be towed. So this is one of our older units. And again, this is Big John. Big John starts on a dime. All right, this thing is from the 70s and it starts on a dime. Okay, all right, so then, you know, bigger lifting equipment is pretty common, same as before, you know, hydraulic issues, tires, brakes, you know, usual stuff. Okay, so this is the new age. These are called power stoves, and you'll know it's a power stove from its little dragon head that it's got here. These things give a myriad of issues. They're still kind of working them out. They're very, very new. They're actually built in Detroit, but it's an Irish company that designs them. Anything that's built in Ireland, I'm told from a really good source, any of them that are made and manufactured in Ireland are solid. We don't have any problems with them. The ones that are made here are the ones that cause the issue. Okay, all right, so basically breakdowns on these. People forget that these are in. You'll see them all over the place. These are very, very sensitive. Somebody gets too close to a plane or this gets messed up, the whole unit will stop working. Now, they do give codes and stuff, but you kind of have to have the experience to know what the codes mean. So the back of this would be called a belt loader. We do a couple of these lying around as well, so I'll show you those real quick. So this is our flatbed truck. Every GSE company has one of these. Not too much maintenance on them. Transmissions get a bit iffy because guys don't service them. You know, guys break switches and stuff like that. But apart from these F550s, these things are solid. You know, lifter issues here and there. You know, same kind of exhaust problems as the other ones. And it's all for the same reason. It's all the moisture. Okay, so now we come along to Tug. T-U-G. You will see a lot of these in the airport. Lots of companies have lots of these things. They are powered by various different units. Some of them have Deutz motors in them, German engine company. That's a Deutz right there. Okay, really, really solid bomb-proof motors. All right, this thing will tow an aircraft if you let it, you know. All right, huge big tires, 2 calipers on either side. These things weigh about 6,000 pounds. I mean, you don't think it by looking at them. Some of them have the 3.8 power motors in them. Some of them have Deutz motors. One or two of them have GM, I think, but we don't have any of those models, but I'm told they do. All right, so let's lift this one up and have a quick look. Okay, so anybody that knows Ford pretty well will know that is an old 3.8 out of a Taurus. The only difference on GSE, a couple of little parts are different. Some of the sensors are not used in this because we don't have emissions here at the airport for some reason. And then we have deeper oil pans. So this thing will actually take 10 quarts of oil, where a Ford, in a Ford application, a Ford Taurus or wherever it was in, I think I remember it being 5.5 quarts of oil it took. Okay, so that's that. All right, so these are kind of, these are your baggage carts. The only real problems that these guys give: axles get busted out, tires get messed up, these get tore up every now and again, just guys again tearing them up. All right, so let's move deeper into the shop here and see what else we got. Okay, we seem to deal with these a lot. These are belt loaders. Okay, this is 300. This is always here. Some guys did some shady wiring on it, and it's just causing problem after problem after problem. But now it's mine, and it's not coming back. So anyway, quick run on these. They're kind of like the Power Stows, a little bit of an older design. This makes it go forward, that stops it, that makes it go backwards. They've got the switches on here. If any of these switches are out of whack, this thing will not even start or move. Okay, the older ones had this big gate situation on it. Again, safety issue in there. If you don't, if that thing isn't down, this thing will not move, it won't even start. Okay, same thing back here, switches. Right, you're gonna have a set of switches on the other side here, right? You're gonna have a little sensor right here, so make sure nobody gets in there and gets stuck. All right, the units themselves pretty simple. Again, we got Ford technology here. No, this is Deutsche. This is a Deutsche one. Okay, so Deutsche, just pay attention to these things. These things cause one or two issues. If you don't spot those issues, you just lost your motor. Okay, wiring on these things can give a little bit of an issue. Again, we got moisture getting in here a lot, and it kind of just gets corrosion on here, and things work, they don't work. But all in all, these things are super reliable. Okay, as you can tell, this one's got some years and some miles on it, and this thing is out there every day. It's here today because we're waiting on a relay for it. It's a heat riser relay, another kind of a problem with them that's kind of overlooked a lot. All right, there's another one. So we've been whipping parts off this. Somebody messed up the wiring on it, and it was just kind of left out to pasture. So we've been pinching off of it. All right, pickups. Again, you'll see a lot of Fords in GSE. They're kind of like the workhorse. This one is here because we can't register it. We got a cat problem. When I checked it out, it's not actually a cat problem. It's a bunch of leaks around the cat. So, you can only do so much at a time. All right, so this is a pushback. Again, this thing has some years on it. Again, these are another big workhorse for the airlines. This is what pushes the planes around the airline, around the airport. An airplane has no reverse. Okay, so that's the job of this thing. These are usually Deutsche motors. Okay, like look inside this thing, it's all motor. I've changed several of these things. These things are no joke. We had 2 forklifts lifting these things. Okay, so these are baggage tugs. Okay, they're made by Wallard. However, they are an amalgamation of a lot of different technologies, like a lot of our units here. Okay, have a guess what this is. Okay, this is a Kubota motor. Okay, now if this looks familiar to you, this is Ford technology. This is EC Ford technology from back in the 90s. So what they've done is they've kind of maybe hybrided it to have, it's got oxygen sensor control and all that kind of stuff. But it's Kubota motor with Ford technology, Ford engine performance in it. All right, do a lot of these. These are off the tugs, the baggage tugs. Okay, you might know what this is. This is a little de-icer, a little Zamboni. Okay, I can't tell you too much about this. I don't do a lot of work on this. It's obviously gas powered. Usually these units are dual. They haven't assigned me anything on this yet, so I couldn't really tell you what's under the hood here. They're usually diesels though, some sort of a hybrid technology again. We also use a lot of these golf carts, electric golf carts. Okay, this happens to be a little shop golf cart. It's a lot of fun. Okay, and then we have these. These are what's called the Jet 16. Another huge workhorse of the airport. You will see dozens and dozens of these things flying around the place. You know, they'll often have 4 or 5 things on the back of them. Again, super powerful. Not so quick. They do about 17 to 20 miles an hour. Okay, these tires, you'll be changing a lot of these. The reason is there's no air in them, they're just solid rubber. There's also no suspensions in these things. Okay, so it's very important that tires, when they get worn, because these things will actually start to kind of sway. Yeah, it's not good, and plus all the baggage goes over, so you got to be careful with them. They are rechargeable. This is as you can see, it's a Delta unit, and it's here for inspection. They usually pass inspection pretty well. They got a couple of little issues, like everything does. One of them's a lot. Stuff tends to come loose. These are TLD is a Chinese company, and it's the early days of the Chinese companies when they were just not putting stuff together properly at all. So that's about it. Don't forget to tune in for more from me, and we can go over some more GSE stuff. If you like my video, like and subscribe. Rotary line, red line. Till next time.